going on, everybody? I hope you are all having a fantastic day. Now, if this video looks familiar, it's because it is a re-upload because the other one had a weird audio segment and the gameplay got all glitchy at the end, so I just figured might as well redo it so you guys have a nice polished product. So instead of having the 6.2.5 challenge gameplay, this is the 5.3.1 challenge gameplay with the 3 stars only. And so I'm going to try and do a more detailed, in-depth talk about Carina's challenges. So basically, they're only available for Thronebreaker players, so you have to have completed Act 6 and have at least one Rank 3 6-star champion. And these challenges range from Labyrinth of Legends to Act 5 to Act 6. They go as complete Labyrinth with only a 4-star Star-Lord on your roster, complete Labyrinth with only Canadian champions like Sasquatch, Sabretooth, Wolverine, Guardian, complete Labyrinth with only Inhumans, so that would be Black Bolt, Karnak, Medusa, Quake. Then the Act 6 challenges are complete the Act 6 Crossbones chapter using only some of the champions as listed were Beast, Storm, Rogue, Wolverine, and other mutants. And the other Act 6 challenge was the 6.2.5, the Mordo chapter, using only 5-star Cosmic champions. And then the other Act 6 challenge was using Kamala Khan to clear the whole champion path and solo the champion, so you can only use her. And then the Act 5 challenges are this one you're seeing here, 5.3.1, using only 3-star champions, but you cannot use Mystics. The other one is solo 5.4.6 Ultron chapter with only a 3-star Loki. And the final one is to solo the Collect chapter in 5.2.6 using only the 2 Cyclopses, there we go. So red and blue Cyclops are the only 2 champions you can use. Now, overall, I think these are good for endgame players. That is key, because when they released the spring cleaning event and that we saw tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha, everyone got a little pissed off because, well, they didn't allow the players to play for it. They just gave it for money. So this is good because it makes you spend money as an endgame player for the whales, but you also have to earn your rewards. You can't just throw money at it and progress your 6-star account. You actually have to have skill, make it through these things, or you just throw as many units at it as possible, which is going to be kind of annoying and expensive. So I think it's good for endgame players. I think it's fair for the most part, except for the Labyrinth of Legends ones, because those kind of require revives due to the enrage timer. I think that they should have made a change or like a separate kind of quest for the Labyrinth with 4 stars so that you did not have the enrage timer, because then that would make it fair. So outside of that, I think it's just very good for the game to have these in, and that their permanent is very good, and that you have the sweats going in for the first 30 days to get them done. I just think it's a really nice add to the game. So now I'm going to get into my experience with it. So far I've done the 6.2.5 run with all the Cosmic Champions and the 5.3.1 with the 3 stars. And neither of them were awful for me. I think I used 4 revives on the 6.2.5 with Cosmics. Died a few times to an annoying Nebula and once to the final Mordo boss. And then I did not die in the Act 5.3.1 one with 3 stars because it was fairly easy. You just had a nice attack reduction. So now I'm just going to get into ranking them and recommending which ones you do if you are a fairly new Thronebreaker player. So maybe you don't have tons of money to throw at the game and you just want to get through it skill-wise. And if you're trying to get through it skill-wise, the easiest one to do is just this 5.3.1 with 6 stars. Not 6 stars, 3 stars, as you can see here. Because it's just a weakness. You just bring in your powerful ones. Like I'm using CGR for most of it. I use Strife and Shang-Chi also. They all work great, and I'd say just do this one first. It's an easy way to grab 15,000 6-star shards. It's easily the best one. And second is also the other one I did, the 6.2.5 with Cosmics. So if you are Thronebreaker, it means you've gone through 6.2. So you've done the Mordo chapter, and you may have explored Act 6 by now. So it means you've basically already done that challenge once. You just have to do it again with your Cosmic characters, except you can't bring in 6 stars, so it's not that bad. It's just I used a team of Corvus Glaive, Proxima Midnight, Heimdall, Hyperion, and Vision Arcus, and it was fairly easy. Now the next one I would say is the Act 6 one with the Crossbones chapter and the mutants, because I've seen a lot of videos already on people cheesing the final boss with Rogue. So I think that one, as long as you can rank up Rogue and maybe Wolverine if you have him, but if you don't have him as a 5-star, Rogue should be able to clear the whole path, or you could rank up Storm or something like that. It's fairly simple. That's the one I'm going to go for next, I think. So outside of those, I think then you get into the harder ones. So then the fourth one I would do is the Loki one. So Loki is a little bit annoying because he's only a 3-star and you have to fight an Electro to start off with. But it's also very good because it's a skill-based fight at the end, so the boss you can solo very easily with a 3-star Loki. So I like that aspect of it. It's just going to be the main path where your issues lie. So that one's probably the most hard one that you can still do with a lot of skill. So I would put that at number 4 because you want to get the 3 easiest out of the way, and then you start delving into the harder ones. Now, the 5th one, so the second to last one I would say, is the Champion with Kamala Khan. So, depending on how you know how to play Kamala Khan, this could either be the last one you want to do, or the 6th one you want to do, or it could be right here, the 5th one. I'd say it's the 5th one because it is easier to solo the Champion with Kamala Khan than it is to do whatever you have to do with our next spot. He is a very, very hard fight, but it is possible with her. You can see Sweeta, he's probably going to put up some videos today on it, so I'd watch those before you go in. Plan out your path accordingly, at least get her up to rank 4, and you have the variant gem, so there's a lot of resources you can spend on her, and it won't be that bad. But it's still probably the most skill-intensive one, so I would save that for last if you are a very skillful player, but if you just want to throw units at the game, you could switch it around. But if you're skillful, that's how I would go. And then there's the last 4, and these are kind of the cash grabby ones. I feel like I really don't like these. They feel like a cheap move by Kabam just to make money. So coming in at the 6th one you should do is going to be the Uncollected Challenge with only the 3-star Cyclopses. So Seaton did a live stream of this today, and he was able to get through it, but it did cost him a lot of revives. It was kind of annoying, so it's just a BS fight because the Collector will basically kill you with any block special attack because 3-stars have very little block proficiency. So I'd recommend doing that one like last out of all the basic ones that don't include Labyrinth. You have to do that one last because you're probably going to need the most units for it, and it's starting to get into less skill intensive and more unit and revive intensive. So that one's at number 6, and then all 3 Labyrinth ones come at the 6, 8, or 7, 8, 9 spots, but the easiest one is probably the Canadian one because you can get your Sabertooth ramped up, so you'll be able to do the normal 1.5 million health fights in about 2 to 3 revives. Karate Mike is currently streaming it as I speak, and he's doing very well. You can probably do the 3.3 million ones in 4 to 6 revives, depending on how lucky you get and what masteries you're running. So that one is probably the most possible and most feasible out of all of them. And then after that, I would probably say the Inhumans one at number 8, so you should do this one 8th. So you at least have Medusa, who is very good in Labyrinth, but if you cannot bleed the opponent, it's going to be kind of a nightmare. But then again, you also have Quake to deal with those fights, and she can do magic. So it's going to be a very long and boring time, but it will be possible. But it will definitely take a lot more units than the Sasquatch one. And then the last one is just easily the Star-Lord Labyrinth one because you have one champion, so you can't even like throw other champions at it as like chip damage. So like if there's a champion at 3% in Labyrinth and you're using, say, the Canadian one, you can maybe throw Guardian or Sasquatch at it just to finish it off. But with Star-Lord, he's the only person on your team, so you just have to revive him and keep going, which is going to cost you so many units. I do not like that one. It just feels very cheap of Kabam, but I mean, you want a challenge, and while some may argue it's not a challenge, you still have to do some fights that are annoying, and if you play well, you could spend less than 3,000 units on it. So that's my overall thoughts on these challenges. I think they're very good for the game. Some are BS, and that is my order of how I would do them if I were you. I did them in the same order that I just said, and I'm going to be starting the Loki one soon once I rank him up as a 3-star. So yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry I had to re-upload. I just wanted to put out the best content possible. And here, a quick shout out to Marvel Master because he actually caught the audio clip in the last video, so I will leave his channel link in the description, and please go check him out because he is growing as we speak, and I really want to get him to 50 subscribers as soon as possible. So thank you guys for watching. You can feel free to subscribe, but remember, it is never required because your viewership means a lot to me. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a nice day.